Aren't taken in for David Mack. Um, I would like to convene the February 2025 Bridges and Tunnel Committee meeting. Ms. Pascone, do you have any public speakers?
Good afternoon. We have two members of the public registered to speak today. As a reminder, we ask that all public speakers adhere to the MTA's rules of conduct and decorum. I would also like to remind our public speakers that in the interest of time and fairness to all speakers, we limit everyone to 2 minutes. Please be aware of the clock in the room and the warning light you will see reminding you have 30 seconds left to conclude your remarks. The first speaker will be Jason Anthony, followed by Christopher Greif, joining remotely.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jason Anthony, the Transit Guru. This month, I want to bring something to your attention, and is digital license plates. I saw this several weeks ago, and I want to thank Bridges and Tunnels President Kathy Sheridan that I made her aware of this, because not only she has made efforts to deter our license plates, but digital plates has been caught to my attention, especially those digital plates that have been running around in the states in the West Coast, but they could come to our neck of the woods. It is very important that those in the law enforcement field to get those vehicles that come through our tolls that has these types of plates, to get them out of our roads, because these digital plates could be easily hackable. And regarding congestion pricing, let's keep those switches on, because our federal government wants to turn them off. That is not the intention. But last but not least, I want to thank President Sheridan and all the board members who are listening to this month. I'll see you guys on Wednesday at Grand Central Madison.
Thank you. The next and final speaker will be Christopher Greif.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christopher D. Greif. Hi, everyone in virtual land. I like to be very clear, as you know, my fellow colleague has mentioned about the congestion pricing. As we say before, that we want to thank Bridges and Tunnels, especially the police, MTA police, and the police that deals with the bridges. First of all, thank God Access-Right can get to their destination on time, even going through the tunnel. It is nice to finally see Access-Right for seniors and people with disabilities getting on a vehicle, getting to their destination, and not getting stuck in traffic. That's the thing about one thing. Congestion pricing did help accessibility. It's been helping people who have to get to Penn Station, Grand Central, Madison Square Garden, or the Broadway shows, but they always forget about us. So I'm letting everyone know that I am fully support congestion pricing for accessibility. The future of accessibility rides with us, and I will still continue advocating. And I thank the Bridges and Tunnels that keeping the bridges, and we have to keep the bridges up, the tunnels clean, the tunnels lights and cameras. And those cameras need to stay on, because we do not want to see people blocking vehicles at bus stops or blocking our streets. Thank you, everyone. And the future of accessibility rides with us. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Madam Chair, that concludes the public comment.
Thank you, Rose. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 2024 and January 2025 B&T committee meetings?
So moved.
Motion by Hayda, second by Midori. All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. I love the quietness of it all. Thank you. The minutes are approved. President Sheridan, are there any changes to the work plan?
Good afternoon, Chair Soren. We're requesting, committee approval for B&T's proposed 2025 committee work plan, which starts on page 12 of the book.
May I have a motion, please? Motion by Benori, second. Hayda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, President Sharon. We will start off with your remarks.
Great, thank you. So earlier this month, we bid farewell to Vice President and Chief of Operations Rich Hildebrand, who retired after 25 years of distinguished service to the authority. Rich rose through the ranks, starting his career as a bridge and tunnel officer. He was known not only for his leadership and devotion to duty, but also for his mentorship of others and development of innovative strategies. As he embarks on retirement, we wish him all the best. I'm happy to acknowledge the appointment of Romulo DeSantis as Senior Vice President with the B&T Business Unit at MTA Construction and Development and as TBTA Chief Engineer. Romulo is a TBTA veteran with hands-on experience and extensive knowledge of our 9 facilities and their engineering needs. His familiarity with our field and back office teams runs deep, and his understanding of our business operations, including the congestion relief zone, brings additional value. We look forward to continuing our close working relationship with Romulo in this new role. I think Romulo is in the room with us
Where are you,
right
Romulo? Congratulations.
on the other side. As part of our ongoing agency reorganization, I'd like to announce the appointment of John Starrett, who's at the table, to the newly created executive position of Senior Vice President, Environmental Health and Safety. John brings more than 3 decades of experience to this role, most recently serving as the Executive Director of Environmental Health Services at the University of California at Irvine. We extend an enthusiastic welcome to John and look forward to the expertise he brings to our agency. Welcome, John. And finally, Felix Rivera is a security leader and law enforcement professional with more than 27 years of experience with NYPD.
This revenue
He
recovery.
brings to B&T his expertise, including a distinguished tenure with Highway Patrol, Incident Management, and Crisis Response. Felix will be leading our Revenue Recovery Division as Vice President and Chief of Transportation, and he couldn't be with us today.
Welcome, Felix, though.
With Revenue Recovery front of mind, I'd like to provide an update on enforcement. In the 11 months since the Joint Agency Task Force convened, we've conducted 81 operations, focusing on drivers who cover, obstruct, and alter their license plates or use counterfeit plates. These ops have resulted in 867 arrests, more than 39,000 summonses issued, and more than 4,000 vehicles towed. And we're not going to stop here.
That's wonderful.
We remain focused on enforcement with the support of our partners at NYPD, MTA PD, and our operations are occurring daily to ensure vehicles with ghost plates are removed from the road and motorists pay their fair share. Finally, you may be aware of recent reports of various fraudulent attempts to engage customers via text and email about toll bills and E-ZPass accounts. These are professional scammers. Attempts to swindle the public and our customers are unacceptable. The MTA and the E-ZPass Customer Service Center have been consistently getting the message out, warning everyone not to fall for these scams. We will never send anyone a text with a link to pay tolls. For our report on operations this quarter, Senior Vice President of Facility Management, Marlene Thompson, will provide an overview of TBTA's 2 crossings in the north, the Robert F. Kennedy and Henry Hudson bridges. Marlene?
Thank you, Kathy. Facility management oversees all maintenance, operations, security, and tolling activities at our 9 facilities, and also encompasses fleet operations and intelligent transportation systems. We work closely with our colleagues in the various departments of TBTA who support our efforts to ensure safe, secure, and efficient travel for our customers, maintain a safe working environment for employees, and support revenue retention and recovery efforts. This team manages our day-to-day activities by assisting with lane closures, filling potholes, monitoring cameras, weather systems, roadway conditions, patrolling our facilities, responding to incidents, maintaining the authority fleet and variable message signs, plowing snow, applying de-icing materials, and performing structural, mechanical, and electrical repairs, as well as fabricating roadway signs. Indeed, our facility leads know everything and anything, everyone and anyone on their facilities. Now to talk about our flagship facility, the Triborough. renamed after the late New York Senator Robert F. Kennedy in 2008, and opened in July of 1936. The bridge is actually 3 spans, a viaduct, and multiple ramps and approaches, totaling more than 10 miles of roadway connecting Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx. Its construction provided thousands of jobs during the height of the Great Depression, and its opening propelled commerce and development across the region. The RFK averages 165,000 vehicles crossings per day and nearly 70 million crossings annually. The Henry Hudson Bridge opened with one level later that same year in December of 1936 and proved so popular with drivers, a second level was added just 17 months later. Today, the upper level carries northbound traffic to the Bronx and Westchester, while the lower level moves traffic to Manhattan and the southbound Henry Hudson Parkway. Averaging 51,000 vehicle crossings daily and approximately 25 million annually, the HHB, as we call it, prohibits commercial and truck traffic consistent with the parkways it links. In close partnership with construction and development, B&T has made a number of significant investments to maintain and upgrade the RFK Bridge. A notable capital project that reached substantial completion ahead of schedule at the end of last year entailed the reconstruction of new ramps for improved access to and from Randall's Island for vehicles, as well as pedestrians and cyclists. Presently in the early stages is a major state of good repair rehabilitation project of the Queens Suspended Span that includes construction of an ADA-compliant shared use path, replacing the current pedestrian walkway, as well as cable dehumidification, lighting enhancements, painting, steel and concrete repairs, and other upgrades. This project got underway in 2024, with an anticipated completion in late 2027. Also in 2024 at the RFK Bridge, a total of 6 large overhead gantry variable message signs were upgraded with improved technology and color. These clear and enhanced displays of general travel information and critical safety messages elevate the customer experience. Safety is an agency priority, and I'm pleased to report that due in part to a robust combination of improved signage, traffic management, and enforcement, vehicle collisions at the RFK Bridge were down in 2024 despite the higher traffic volumes. Another key area of customer experience is lighting. A signature achievement at the RFK facility is the conversion of all roadway and necklace lights to 100% LED lighting. This is no small feat given the 190 necklace light fixtures spanning the Queens Suspended Span and its towers, and 630 roadway lights across the entire bridge. The extended life LED lights means less maintenance, which translates to fewer roadway closures to accommodate the lighting replacement. With traffic management and our customer experience as a top priority, at the RFK we have responded to over 3,000 incidents with an average response time of 10 minutes and 21 seconds. These incidents range from vehicle collisions to debris in the roadway. Now moving to our northernmost crossing, the Henry Hudson Bridge. I'm pleased to report the substantial and early completion of a project that featured redesign and retrofitting of the lower level pedestrian walkway into an ADA-compliant shared use path to enhance access for walkers and cyclists alike, structural and seismic improvements to the upper level north abutment and retaining wall, as well as other critical upgrades. Our on-site facility team worked closely with construction and development throughout this challenging and fast-moving work to limit the impact on the neighboring Riverdale community as well as our driving customers. This past year at the Hudson, there were approximately 200 incidents ranging from disabled vehicles to multi-vehicle collisions. Our average response time for 2024 was 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Also enhancing our customer experience, one large overhead gantry variable message sign was upgraded, and all 216 roadway lights at the Hudson were converted to 100% LED in 2024. In closing, I would like to thank my hardworking RFK and Henry Hudson Bridge facility teams, as well as our Central Maintenance North crews, for all they do year-round, every day, out in the fields, in all extremes of weather and behind the scenes. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, I just want to comment. It's very impressive work and great work. And thank you for everyone who was involved in all those great projects.
Ditto on that one. Great job. Question on the 10-minute response time over by the RFK. Is that for every level of emergency? I'm just curious. It is. And why is it 10 minutes? I'm just curious. Is that a good time? I don't know, putting it into concept.
That bridge is 10 miles long, and it has various ramps and approaches, so I can get you the variance between last year and this year, but it is a good response time considering the structure.
Thank you.
And I'll also add that we were looking at response time agency-wide, and we're not necessarily calculating it the same at every facility, so we've tried to standardize that. So, we may have actually affected response time by, just accidentally changing the criteria. So, but we'll get you some information on that.
Every bridge is different, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can't, like you said, the Tri-Borough Bridge, when I said it's huge, and you can come from all angles. So that's different as opposed to like, the Whitestone or the Frog's Neck that just go, from one direction to one to another. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely different than the Rockaways. Right. Marlene, thank you to you and your team for your care and attention to our northern facilities. Moving to traffic and revenue, our total 2024 traffic broke a record at 337.2 million crossings, which yielded nearly $2.6 billion in toll revenue. I'm pleased to report, due to our record-breaking revenue and our operating efficiencies, B&T will provide more than $1.4 billion in surplus, which will benefit the MTA's mass transit systems. Adam Hartke, MTA Bridges and Tunnels Financial Liaison, will present an overview of the TBTA operating surplus, followed by the 2025 adopted budget and a financial plan. Adam?
Thank you, Kathy. The TBTA operating surplus is one of the fundamental elements of the MTA and highlights the unique role that TBTA serves within the region. Since the MTA's inception in the late 1960s, TBTA continues to serve the dual role of functioning as critical links within the regional transportation network and providing operating surplus to support mass transit operations. The 2024 TBTA operating surplus includes $1.423 billion for both New York City Transit and the MTA. This represents a 10% increase above the $1.3 billion in operating surplus in 2023. This increase is due in part to the record 337.2 million revenue trips in 2024, an increase of roughly 2 million crossings over 2023. In addition, non-reimbursable expenses were over $29 million favorable when compared to the 2024 adopted budget. Looking ahead, the 2025 adopted budget, which is also included in this month's materials, starting in 2025, TBTA has identified $25 million in budgetary savings as part of the broader MTA cost reduction strategy. These include realignment of expenses to reflect continued efficiencies from open road tolling, adjusting budgets to 2024 actuals, and broader operational savings. This ultimately translates into larger monthly surplus transfers for 2025, meaning more timely funds for mass transit. We now ask you to certify and transfer TBTA's operating surplus to MTA and New York City Transit. The staff summary begins on page 45 and includes an attachment of resolutions that are summarized as follows. Resolutions to certify and transfer the $1.423 billion in 2024 operating surplus to the MTA and New York City Transit pursuant to Section 1219A2B of the Public Authorities Law of the State of New York, and resolutions recognizing the $11.25 million in the 2024 TBTA investment income to be transferred to the MTA pursuant of Section 569C of the Public Authorities Law. And finally, resolutions pursuant to the Public Authorities Law to advance monthly the fiscal year 2025 TBTA surplus to the MTA and New York City Transit in an aggregate amount of not to exceed 90% of the estimate of the sum of that month's operations, if available, with the first 1.8 million going to New York City Transit and the remaining sum split 50-50 between New York City Transit, less applicable bond service, and 50% to the MTA, less applicable bond service. Your approval is requested.
So is it 1.8 or 1.4 that you're giving us?
Oh, 1.4.
1.4.
Yeah.
No, you said 1.8. You confused me. What was the 1.8 number?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 11.25 in addition to the investment income?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have a motion to approve the TBTA operating surplus resolutions?
So moved. And thank
Ada?
you.
Blanca, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
I love it in unison. There we go. So approved.
Excellent. We also have as an information item the 2025 adopted budget and financial plan starting on page 57. This plan includes a schedule detailing the monthly allocation of revenues and expenses for the purpose of reporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Any questions further for Adam? Okay, finally, there are no procurements this month, and this concludes B&T's report.
May I have a motion to adjourn? Mark, I didn't forget you back there. Blanca, second. You are adjourned until Wednesday. Thank you.